guys, welcome back to our channel. This is one of my updates on my pregnancy, and today I'm going to talk about 11 and 12 weeks. I missed last week. I was going to warn you that Iris may join us. Looks like she decided to come up here right away. She just loves the camera. So yeah, we were traveling last week and it was crazy. Honestly, there wasn't much to talk about last week anyway, so I'm just combining weeks 11 and 12, and this is the update. Okay, this is gonna get old. So regarding the babies, they are each about 2 inches long, which is amazing to me. They're about the size of an apricot. For those of you that don't eat many apricots, I eat like dried apricots and those seem pretty small. I think it's similar to like a plum. I'm just picturing 2 inches, which is like, I don't know, like if they were sitting in our hand, we'd for sure be able to see them there. So getting pretty big. They are, this is crazy. They're like practicing breathing by inhaling amniotic fluid into their lungs and exhaling it. And that's pretty cool. Later on, they'll be able to actually taste the foods that I'm eating through the amniotic fluid. And they have no more webbing between their fingers and toes. They have actual segments there, so they can voluntarily make fists and curl their toes. If they are poked or like pushed on, then they'll reflexively move. At this point, I can't feel them. I guess if you've been pregnant before and you kind of know what you're feeling for, you can feel them a little bit earlier. But so I'm 12 weeks and 5 days, almost 13 weeks, and I haven't felt anything, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think it's gonna be a little while. So that is the update on the babies. Our doctor's visit last week went really, really well. I think they weren't quite prepared for what they were doing with us. They were confused about the fact that I was already almost 12 weeks and I was just having my initial visit with them. I think we talked about the confusion with like finishing up with the fertility clinic and transitioning over to the regular OB office. So I think that threw them for a loop, and so they didn't even end up doing like my new OB visit. I talked to the OB, but it was just for a few minutes and that was it. So they didn't do a lot of things that they normally do at a new OB visit. So then they wanted to see me back in 2 weeks to do that, which put me on next Friday. Then I got a call today, so we're a week and 2 days from my visit, and they need to reschedule me. Or I can see a nurse practitioner that day. So Brad and I have been going back and forth on like what we want to do. If I try to reschedule and see another OB, I don't feel like it's going to be for a while because they're so booked out. But it's also kind of their fault that they need to reschedule me, so I feel like they should work with me on it. Or I can just see the nurse practitioner, which I'm not opposed to doing. I just know with a high-risk pregnancy, like you're not even supposed to be seeing just a regular OB. You're supposed to be seeing a high-risk multiple specialist. So the fact that I'm potentially seeing a nurse practitioner makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but it's just for one visit. I know they're very qualified, and I will probably just do that. So that will put my next appointment next Friday still. I'm very excited about that. I love seeing the babies, and at that visit, I think we might be able to see gender. I'll be almost 14, let's see, I'll be almost 13. No, I'll be 13 weeks. Is that right? I'm losing it. Yeah, I'll be just about 13 weeks, so I don't know, maybe we'll be able to see them, maybe we won't. The genders. So anyway, yeah, I got all my questions answered at the doctor's visit, one of which was, can I fly? And he was totally fine with that. I think after like 24 weeks when you're pregnant with twins, they want to cut you off on flying, but he said as long as you move your legs around and get up and walk around every few hours, which neither of our flights were over 2 hours, then you should be fine. My body is continuing to change. I told Brad last night if he finds any part of me attractive, even if it's just like my lip color or my hair, mention it, because I'm starting to, I don't know, my body's just changing. I need to be, this is not a time for me to be vain and care about what my body looks like, but it's hard when you have like a standard for yourself and you're slipping out of that standard. It's just different. It's something I've never experienced before. My weight is higher than it ever has been in my life, which I'm very excited about. I'm proud of the weight I've put on. But like my hips are bigger, just things are, it's just things are changing. And part of that is because in a twin pregnancy, you're about 8 weeks past where you would be in a single pregnancy. So my uterus is the size of a 20-week single pregnancy uterus at 12 weeks. So if you do the math, that means I'm gonna look like I'm full term with a singleton when I'm 32 weeks instead of when I'm 40 weeks. So you just get bigger much faster. Things change quicker. With that said, I have been using lotion or body butter on my tummy every single night. Let me grab it here. Okay, so I'm using, of course it's like French, à la Maison de Provence. Am I reading the wrong side? No, that's it. And it's coconut cream body butter souffle. It smells delicious. Like, let's see if it'll focus. There we go. Like I'm tempted to eat it. But it just lathers on really thick, really nice and thick, and I know keeping my skin hydrated is gonna give me the best shot at not getting stretch marks, even though it's genetic, and I honestly won't mind that much, but if there's something I can do to maybe prevent it, then I'll do it. So that's what I'm using every single night. I'll link it below. The book I'm obsessed with, that is second in line only to the Bible right now, is When You're Expecting Twins, Triplets, or Quads. And I know I mentioned this in the last update. I can't recommend this enough if you're expecting twins, triplets, or quads. Honestly, it's life-changing. It's changing the course of my pregnancy. My goals have completely changed from trying not to put on weight to trying to put on as much weight as I can as fast as I can at the beginning. And it lays out the reasons for doing that. I'm shooting for 3,500 calories a day. I'm not getting anywhere near it, but that's my goal. And it lays out why that should be the goal in the book. So I can't recommend it enough. If you're expecting twins and your doctor says you don't need to eat more than a normal pregnancy, but get a new one. Like, that's detrimental advice to somebody who's carrying multiples. The other book, I'll link this one below too so you can find it. It's on Amazon, it's pretty cheap, it's hefty, and it's packed with information that is supported by studies on thousands of multiples pregnancies. So the other book I'm reading is Girlfriend's Guide to Pregnancy, and I adore this book. I read it like before bed just for something lighthearted. It is hilarious and very accurate. It's like all of the things about pregnancy that you're even like nervous to talk to your partner about. Not me though, because excuse me, as I burp. I'm like totally comfortable talking to Brad about like my BMs and whatever. But anyway, this is hilarious. I LOL multiple times as I'm reading it. You can ask Brad. It's very funny, it's very good. If you've ever been pregnant and you're not currently, read this because you'll be able to relate to it. It's very funny. It will be linked below as well. As far as symptoms go, I think my nausea has finally eased up. It was like as soon as my mom came down to visit us, I felt like I turned the corner with my food aversions and nausea to feel a lot more human. And so I'm really excited about that. I was able to eat chicken quite a bit, like on our trip, and just a lot more variety of things. I feel like I can eat salad now. I'm really excited about just like introducing more nutrition into my diet, especially as I'm increasing my calories. I want those to be quality calories if I can, so that's better. I still have a few bouts of nausea. I'm still taking Diclete, just 2 tablets at night. My doctor said to wait until I'm out of the first trimester to stop. So I'm just gonna finish that out. I know I mentioned cramping last time. I talked about that with my doctor and he said it's totally normal. Being cold all the time, he said, is totally normal, and he said that will probably switch over to being hot all the time soon. I'm just waiting for that. But in addition to the cramping, I've had, and I looked it up, and I think it's round ligament pains, and it's like, instead of cramping, it's like the sharp pain. It's like sharp pain you get in your lower, very low abdomen, and it's like kind of on each side. So I was having a little bit of that when we were on our trip. I'm just trying to stay really hydrated, and it seems like that helps with everything from cramping to constipation, etc. My nails are growing really fast. I just got my nails done like a week ago and they're already starting to grow out. My hair's growing really fast. I just got it done and I already have roots showing. So that's awesome. And I have a note here that my hair is fro-like. I don't know what I was talking about. I don't see it. Anyway, in addition to all of those glamorous symptoms, I had mentioned like everything's getting wider and like my hips are just wider. So like even pulling my scrubs on today, I could tell they were having trouble going over my hips. But what the real red flag to me is that my underwear, my favorite underwear, is like cutting in to like where my upper leg meets my hip. And it's like getting painful a little bit. It's like cutting off circulation almost. So I mean, do I need to buy all new underwear? Should I hang on to all of my favorite underwear for post-pregnancy, or am I just gonna be wider for the rest of my life? Like, can anybody guide me on what I need to do about that? Because nobody told me that this was gonna happen and that my underwear wasn't gonna be fitting. Like, I thought my tummy was gonna be getting bigger. So I definitely need to get new underwear. I just don't know if I'm ever gonna be back into my old underwear. I hope so, but anyway, so there's that. And I think that wraps up all of the updates with me. I will link in the card, let's see, is it gonna be, it's either gonna be here or here. There's gonna be an iCard that you click on and you can watch our full ultrasound that we had last week. The babies were very active. They were moving around quite a bit. They were, I feel like their personalities were showing. It was really magical. So if you want to see more on the actual ultrasound, click on that iCard and you can see that video. We'll also have like my previous weekly updates linked in there as well if you missed any of those. And I think that's it. So I will do my bump update. So let's do that now. I just ran into the wall. Okay, here's my bump update. Oh, okay. So there she is. And from the front, I just ate a huge bowl of cereal too, so that's what this is. It was a giant bowl. You can see it sitting right there. That's normally not there. But yeah, I think it's, let me angle this down. I was kind of dreaming thinking I would be actually that tall. Oh, that's better. So there they are. And from the front, I feel like if I just stand differently, I can make them stick out further. So, yep, that's them. Let's listen to them with the doppler. Hey, Rusty. So last time we did it, one of them was right here and one was right here. So we'll see if we can find them. We should start warming up this gel like they do at the doctor's office. It's freezing.
So you got one.
It's B.
Baby B.
155-ish.
156.
Attaboy. So then A should be right here-ish.
And we have A.
Thanks for watching my 11 and 12 week update. Hit the like button if you like this. Hit that subscribe button if you want to follow us on our journey. We'll see you next time.